This is probably how you were taught to identify swing highs and swing lows. It's a very generic example. Now, the core concept behind this is fine. This is technically showing you swing highs and swing lows, but this is a very simplified version. The markets are not this smooth, they're not this simple, and they're not this easy. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I identify real swing highs and real swing lows, but also how I use them to make money in the markets. So let's start with this very basic example so I can explain the core idea, and then we'll move on to real market examples. This example is showing you an uptrend. In this uptrend, we have two swing lows and two swing highs. But what does that actually mean? What is the difference between a swing high, a swing low, and just a low or just a high? Well, the answer to that is actually very simple. A swing high is when buyers tried to push price higher and failed. A swing low is when sellers tried to push price lower and failed. Technically, it's where price stops moving in one direction and has some sort of reversal or pullback. But what's important about understanding swing highs and swing lows isn't the shape, it's not how it looks, but it's what it represents and how we identify it. So these are basically points in the markets where we see a shift in control. So buyers will lose control at swing highs, sellers will lose control at swing lows. And if you cannot identify these shifts correctly, you cannot identify a trend, you cannot identify your entries, and you cannot identify your targets properly. The problem a lot of traders have is they don't know which highs and lows actually matter because, as I said, the markets are noisy, they're not this smooth, they're not this easy, and they're not this simple. So most traders end up marking out completely different highs and lows. So with everything we've just said, what narrative is this telling us? Well, we've got a few different things. Well, we obviously had buyers stepping in, buyers in control, buyers in control. We then, at this swing high, so buyers lose control and sellers take over. Then at this swing low, sellers lost control and buyers took over. We see this narrative play out again here. But the other bit of context is not just the sort of microstructure, if you will, but it's the overall direction of this. Where is it going? Well, we're clearly seeing that this is a swing low, sure, but this is also a higher low relative to this low and this low. So we are seeing this uptrend develop. This market overall is telling us that buyers have been in control throughout the whole period. Although they are losing short-term control at these swing highs, but they are regaining control at swing lows. And these swing lows are higher lows relative to their previous lows. So that's why it's important to identify these swing highs and the swing lows and also understand what they actually mean, because then we can navigate it. If we understand it, we can trade it better. So let me show you a real example. This is a real trade I'm currently in on the AUD NZD. So now you'll notice there's a few different things on here. We've got Fibonacci, we've got a level of structure, we've got our stops being reduced, we've got some moving averages. We're not going to focus on that just yet. What we want to do to identify swing highs and lows in real markets, there are two approaches. So the first approach is you go to indicators, and in the search bar, you type in zigzag. And you will see on technicals, you'll just see it here. Very simple, very straightforward. On your chart, it will look pretty useless. It doesn't really give us anything. So if we double click it, we can change the settings. This is very, very important. So for the price deviation of reversals, I use 0.75. I then uncheck the bottom three checkboxes, and you can have the color, whatever. I'm going to make it a nice yellow so you can see it on the screen clearly. So there we go. It's done for us. We've now got the swing highs and the swing lows in the markets. Now, you may need to change the settings depending on the market. Every market has its own behavior. It has its own structure. So sometimes you might need to use 1. You might need to use 0.75. It really depends. So play around with it, see what works best in your market. But for this one, and generally, I'll use 0.75. We have an overall uptrend here. We have buyers losing control, sellers stepping in, sellers losing control, buyers stepping in. And we have this narrative repeating where we have this very clear uptrend with very clear points where the control is shifting between buyers and sellers. If you are enjoying this video so far, please drop me a subscribe and a like. I'm trying my best to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm uploading non-stop value to this YouTube channel for the rest of history until I die. Okay, so the best decision you can make for your trading education, your trading career, and even a little bit of entertainment, subscribe to this channel. There isn't a right or wrong way because this is technical analysis. So What you can also do is change from candlesticks to an area chart. Now you could keep the zigzag, you could combine both of them, but the way to use the area chart to identify these swing highs and lows is actually just remove everything. So go to a daily time frame, just go up time frames and you can identify. So right here, what do we see? Well, we've got a swing high right here. We've then got a swing low. We've then got this swing high. We've then got this swing low. So we can do exactly the same thing. Identifying swing highs and lows is basic trading 101 technical analysis. You can learn it in 30 minutes. There is nothing complicated. There's no secrets. There's nothing really for you to even get confused with. Very, very basic. But where the fun comes in is how do we use these swing highs and lows that we've just learned how to do. So I've now reapplied the zigzag tool. We're back on the H4. Again, this is Aussie New Zealand. This is a position I'm actually in right now. So what we did here to identify our entry was super simple. We added the zigzag line. So we can see right here, we have the swing low and we've got our swing high. Now, because I trade pullbacks in trends, I like to measure my pullbacks. So I drew the fib from the swing low to the swing high, and that gave me this level. So let me delete this box as well. So you can see swing low, push to the upside, swing high. So we've clearly got buyers in this market. We've got an overall uptrend as well. We then see this pull back into our fib level. Now, granted, this actually didn't work out as smoothly as I wanted it to, but this is a real trade. This is real markets. Again, I'm not here to show you hindsight rubbish. So the market pulled back. We then closed back inside this fib zone. So then we took the long position because we've got the uptrend. We had the swing low, swing high, 50% retracement or pull back into our fib level. We then closed back inside. So everything was aligned here. Although yes, we did end up in a little bit of drawdown, the trend held, we still created this higher low relative to the previous low, and then we pushed to the upside. So you can see how simple this really is. All we need is swing highs and lows. We draw the fib from the previous high or the previous low to the current high or low. We wait for a pullback to the fib zone and we look to enter the trade. Now, this is another real trade on the US dollar Swiss that I'm currently in. The editor is going to put pictures on the screen to show you the MetaTrader executions. This is another perfect example. So what do we see? Well, we have a swing low. Sellers lost control and buyers took over. Swing high. Then what happens? Well, buyers lost control and sellers stepped in. But what do you also notice here? Well, we did exactly the same thing. We drew the fib from the swing low to the swing high. Price then pulled back into the fib zone. We entered a position once we saw the rejection of the fib level. We then push higher. We create a new swing high here. Then price pulls back again into our fib level and creates, what do we see? Another swing low. So we entered another position. So now I'm in two long positions. I've scaled into my winner just by being able to identify these swing highs, swing lows, and measuring their pullbacks by 50% or 61.8%. And again, what's the final thing? Uptrend. Very simple. If you want to be able to identify these trends without really having to identify the market structure, just add a 200 EMA. So if price is above the 200, it's an uptrend. If price is below the 200, it's a downtrend. Very simple. This, guys, is trading and technical analysis 101. There is nothing you really need to get confused with. It's not complicated. It's not complex. This is how trading should be. The more simple your technical approach is, the more success you will have because it's repeatable, it's simple, and you can understand exactly why you're doing it, when to do it, and when it doesn't work. Whereas if you have something super complicated, it becomes the complete opposite of everything I've just described. So if you have found this video useful and you've learned something, or even if you just enjoyed it and you like listening to my voice, make sure you drop a like and a subscribe. As I said, I'm trying my best to get to 10,000 subscribers. Also, last thing, I do have a free course that you can get. Link is in the description. There's no strings attached, no cost, no paywall. You can get it free, okay? And that will teach you my full technical strategy. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you very soon.